Hello, dears. My name is Yadesa Tolosa. My educational background and my experience are, of course, versatile and diverse. I will share my experiences that are only relevant to these videos. For instance, I've already authored a book entitled Curriculum Design and Development in Vocational Education Training Practice, Approaches and Issues. I can say I'm a training and development specialist and consultant in training in general and in technical and vocational education and training and in adult education in particular. So you can get my address here. And also, I have my YouTube channel, which is named Yadesa Tolosa YouTube. So you can Google there and search, and you can get all my videos that I've prepared and uploaded for you. Having said this, there are many videos that I'm going to prepare and upload for you on my YouTube channel. Among these, the meaning and the features of education and training. Most of them focus on education and training. In fact, all my presentation make focus in competency-based education and training. We'll see what competency-based education and training mean. And also, I will present and upload for you on my YouTube channel about forms of education training programs, types of formal and non-formal training programs, and also about employee training and workplace learning, about training needs assessment, about training cycle, the meaning of training curricula, approach and development of competency-based trainings such as occupational standards, inputs, frameworks. All these are among many others that I'm going to produce educational videos and plan to upload for you. So what is expected from you is just to subscribe my YouTube if you are new, so that all the videos that I'm going to upload gets you by default. And also don't forget to share my videos to others so that others can use it. And also don't refrain from giving comments regarding the issues, the contents I've presented. Having said this, now I'm going to present you about knowledge, skills, and attitudes in this video. Let us stay together. Now let me directly go to the presentation in this video. As I've already mentioned, all my presentations focus more on competency-based education and training. So let us see what competence-based education training system mean. As you can read from the slide, the competency-based education training system, sometimes it is known as outcome-based education and training system as well, is widely used for the learning design and competency assessment development. Outcome or competence-based system is the approach in which the curricula and training materials are developed so that the learners, after completing a particular course, is expected to perform the tasks or activities given according to the performance criteria given under the competency standard. The premise I can say of this is that all learners would achieve a minimum preset level of accomplishment in each skill or knowledge area. It is based on the principle that knowledge acquisition is learner-centered and knowledge acquisition is results-oriented, and the principle that knowledge acquisition is founded on the belief that all individuals can learn. Well, now let us move to the meaning and the features of education and training. What does education mean? What does training mean? What are their commonalities? What are their differences? That is what we are going to see. There are several ways to interpret education and training. Periodically, various academics and educationalists define and interpret education and training in different ways. Due to the similarities and differences between education and training, it is becoming more common to refer to either both without distinction. In general, or broadly speaking, education training are the means to impart knowledge, skills, and attitude from one person to another. That means from, say, a teacher to a student, or from a teacher to a learner, from a trainer to a trainee, we can say, on the formal, non-formal, and informal forms of education training programs. So, education training are also mean to learn, experience, and sharing wisdom and competency development, as well as a means to activate the growth and transformation of development. We can say, in fact, using both terms, that means education and training, it is becoming common and acceptable these days, especially in competency-based education training programs, despite the similarities and differences that exist between education and training programs, in terms of their current objectives, in terms of contents, and in terms of implementation approach. The main explanation for this is that both programs, that means the program for education and the program for training, cover the three common learning domains. These learning domains are known as knowledge, skills, and attitude, which are prerequisites for determining one's level of competency. But while knowledge is the main focus of education, skill is the main focus of training, in fact. Attitude, on the other hand, is the major domain to measure one's competency standard in the sphere of education and training. In fact, attitude is the main domain used to gauge or assess a person's competency in the field of education and training. As a training specialist or educationalist, one has to know that training and education are dynamic. Dynamic, when you say they are dynamic in processes, they are adaptable and occasionally get better depending on the circumstances. In general, the ability to transmit knowledge and skills and effect behavioral change through formal, non-formal, and informal forms of education training programs is what unites both education and training. One thing that should be known is knowledge, skills, and attitudes are non-detachable. Non-detachable, when you say they are the terms that require all the three to be used to measure competency standards. Knowledge is the domain that demonstrates the information gathered in the mind to facilitate action or performance. That means Competency standards that allow someone to carry out particular tasks using the knowledge they have acquired are known as skills as well. To put it in another way, a skill is application and usefulness of knowledge. Or, to make it more clear, a skill can be said as the practicality and utilization of knowledge. So, there is no what you call to stand alone a knowledge or separate knowledge from skills or separate skills from attitude. One, in order to make him or her to acquire knowledge, there should be skill there. And also when we attempt to make somebody acquire skill, knowledge is there. For instance, let us say making a chair. One person, in order to make a chair, he not necessarily only be taught how to cut a wood, or how to mend the wood, how to fix wood together. He or she, as a student, should know certain principles. For instance, how to cut. There are two types of cut, for instance, across grain, and also against grain of the wood. Why? When we say, we have to tell him the characteristics of the wood, types of wood, even how woods are grown up, and the features of the wood. And also, for example, he might be painting that specific wood after finishing. So, what is the characteristics of chemicals that are made for making color? At least he has to know this and the like. I'm not saying he or she has to know all things, but there are certain supportive knowledge and skills that he or she should acquire in order to be competent enough in that specific tasks. Since knowledge is implicitly contained in skills, it is also essential to the development of skills. Based on their characteristics, skills can be divided into two categories: hard skills and soft skills. Soft skill is a way to demonstrate the capacity to carry out tasks that don't require strenuous physical activity. It is invisible and challenging to measure. When we come to hard skill, before I move to hard skill, what are soft skills? Let me give you some examples. For instance, report writing, problem solving, and communication are a few of the examples or abilities that are under the soft skill category. Conversely, hard skills serve as a way to demonstrate the capacity to carry out tasks involving real-world physical movements, frequently involved our hands and feet and other bodies. Hard skills include things like playing football, for instance, weaving clothes, for instance, and operating machinery, among many others. Attitude, on the other hand, in its affirmative context of a job, because there are different types of attitudes. Attitude, when you say positive attitude, negative attitude, affirmative attitude. Attitude refers to the work ethics and values that an employee should develop or somebody should develop in order to perform an activity or a task with knowledge and abilities necessary to meet expectations. The most complex skill, attitude, is challenging to quantify and steer in the right direction. A person's outlook will grow as their knowledge and skills do by nurturing, living, feeding, and exposure to both positive and negative environmental and natural situations can all have an impact on an individual's attitude. That's all I have for today. In the next video, I'm going to present for you on the forms of education and training. In that video, we are going to see different types of or forms of education, such as formal, non-formal, informal, and also paraformal types of education training. Till we meet there, I would like to say bye-bye.